Welcome to List Of, where today we're diving into the dark, the dramatic, and the downright disturbing. We're talking about last words. Not just any last words, mind you. We're talking about the ones that echo through history, whispered in moments of ultimate finality, often with a backstory so chilling, it'll make your blood run colder than a mortician's slab. And trust me, some of these are so wild, you'll question everything you thought you knew. So, buckle up, dim the lights, and let's explore the famous last words that carry the heaviest weight. Kicking off our list, at number 7, we have "Tell them I died fighting." Now, that sounds pretty heroic, right? A brave soldier, a valiant defender. Except this wasn't a soldier. This was James Revis, a notorious con artist who, in the late 1800s, managed to convince people he was a baron with vast landholdings in Arizona. He forged documents, spun elaborate tales, and basically defrauded hundreds of settlers out of their land. When his fraudulent empire finally crumbled and he was arrested, he apparently still clung to his delusions of grandeur. "Tell them I died fighting," he supposedly croaked from his deathbed in prison. Fighting against what, exactly? Bureaucracy? The glaring truth. We'll probably never know, but it is certainly a fittingly absurd final statement for a man who lived his life as a colossal scam. Coming in at number 6, a phrase that sounds utterly mundane, yet hides a terrifying reality. "It's very beautiful over there." These were the last words of Gustave Eiffel, the brilliant engineer behind the Eiffel Tower. Now, Eiffel lived a long and successful life, passing away peacefully at 91. So, where's the chill? Well, it's not about his death, but the future death he seemed to predict. He was fascinated by the scientific possibilities of his iconic tower, particularly its potential for radio transmission. He even famously said he'd rather die than see the tower demolished. He died in his Paris apartment, staring out the window. What was so beautiful to him? Was it a philosophical contemplation of existence? Or was he perhaps peering into the future, seeing the tower standing tall, a symbol of enduring brilliance while all else faded away? The ambiguity is almost more unsettling than a direct threat. At number 5, we have a deeply personal and profoundly tragic utterance. "I'm going to sleep now." These were the words of Ethel Rosenberg, uttered just moments before she was executed by electric chair in 1953. Ethel, along with her husband Julius, was convicted of conspiracy to commit espionage, accused of passing atomic bomb secrets to the Soviet Union. The trial was a media circus, fueled by Cold War paranoia, and their conviction remains a deeply controversial subject. Ethel maintained her innocence until the end. "I'm going to sleep now," she said calmly to her executioners. It's a heartbreakingly gentle phrase in the face of such extreme violence. It speaks of a surrender, a weariness, a final quiet resignation to a fate she believed was unjust. Moving on to number 4, a statement that's both chillingly prescient and a tad bit snarky. "I can't believe you're all so stupid." This gem belongs to Basil Brown, a self-taught archaeologist who, in 1939, made the incredible discovery of the Sutton Hoo ship burial, an Anglo-Saxon treasure trove that rewrote British history. He worked tirelessly, often with minimal recognition and funding, battling academic snobbery. After his groundbreaking discovery, he wasn't even credited as the lead archaeologist by some. He died in 1977, apparently frustrated by the ongoing lack of appreciation for his contributions. One can only imagine the exasperation that led to such a blunt, but perhaps entirely justified, final observation. He probably looked around at some of the self-important figures in his life and thought, "Seriously? You guys still don't get it?" Our third chilling entry comes from a man whose life was dedicated to unraveling mysteries. "I'm afraid I have to go now." These were the last words of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes. Now, this has a double dose of the uncanny. Firstly, his departure itself. He died in 1930 at the age of 71, clutching his chest and speaking these words to his wife. But the real chill comes from the context surrounding his death. Conan Doyle was a fervent believer in spiritualism, dedicating much of his later life to promoting seances and communicating with the dead. His last words could be interpreted as a literal announcement of his departure to another realm, a realm he so desperately sought to connect with. Was he saying goodbye, or was he announcing he was finally joining the spirits he so ardently believed in? At number 2, we have a confession that's as chilling as it is bizarre. The voices told me to do it. This was the desperate cry of Ronald DeFeo Jr., the perpetrator of the infamous Amityville horror murders. In 1974, he shot and killed his parents and 4 younger siblings in their sleep. When apprehended, his explanation was that he heard voices telling him to commit the atrocities. This statement launched 1,000 campfire stories and a Hollywood franchise, painting the house as a haunted, demonic entity. While some believe the voices were a fabricated excuse for a brutal crime, others find the idea of external forces compelling him to such evil deeply disturbing. It's a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the human psyche, amplified by the unnerving possibility of something more sinister. And finally, at number 1, a phrase that is both poetic and terrifying, laced with a deeply ironic backstory. Oh dear, I'm afraid I've made a mess. These were the last words of Marie Antoinette, the Queen of France, shortly before her execution during the French Revolution. While historically debated, the sentiment captures the essence of her tragic end. This phrase, often attributed to her as she accidentally stepped on her executioner's foot on the way to the guillotine, is a stark contrast to the opulent life she once led. The mess wasn't just a spilled shoe, it was the collapsing monarchy, the bloody revolution, and her own imminent beheading. It's a moment of profound, almost surreal politeness in the face of utter chaos and her own demise. A queen facing death, concerned about a minor faux pas. It's a chilling testament to the abrupt and brutal end of an era. And there you have it, 7 infamous last words, each carrying a heavy burden of history, tragedy, and sometimes a touch of dark humor. These phrases, spoken in the final moments of life, offer us a glimpse into the minds of those who shaped our world, for better or for worse. What do you think of these chilling last words? Do you know any others with fascinating backstories? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to List Of for more fascinating content like this, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next upload. Until next time, stay curious,